In a valley where the winds of expectation blew constantly, there lived a woman named May. She was an artist of great skill, able to capture the colors of the dawn and the grace of a falling leaf. For a long time, her work was a source of pure joy. But as the years passed, a shadow fell over her brushes. She began to look more at the faces of the people watching her than at the canvas before her. She became hungry for praise and terrified of criticism. Every compliment lifted her to the clouds, and every cold word dragged her into the depths. Her art, once vibrant and free, became stiff and fearful. She had lost her way because she had forgotten who she was without the eyes of others. Seeking to mend her broken spirit, May traveled high into the mist-covered peaks to find a teacher known as the Master of the Still Lake. She found him sitting in silence by the edge of a small pool of water, nestled between ancient stones. The water was so clear and so still that it looked like a sheet of silver glass. May approached him, her heart heavy with the noise of her own anxieties. She asked the master why her soul felt like a storm, even when she was surrounded by beauty. She told him that she was tired of being a slave to the opinions of the world. The master looked at the pool and then at May. He asked her to look into the water and tell him what she saw. May leaned over the edge and saw her own reflection, perfect and detailed. She saw the lines of her face and the mountains behind her. Then, the master took a small pebble and dropped it into the center of the pool. Small ripples spread outward, distorting May's image until her face became a blurred, unrecognizable shape. The master then asked her to describe herself again. May replied that she couldn't see anything clearly. The water was too disturbed. The master spoke softly. He told her that the mind of most people is like this pool when the pebble is dropped. The pebble represents the words of others, their praise, their judgment, their expectations. When you live for the approval of the world, you are constantly throwing stones into your own water. You cannot see your true self because you are too busy reacting to the ripples caused by others. You mistake the distorted reflection for the truth. You chase the praise to stop the shaking, but the very act of chasing only creates more waves. May sat by the water for many days, watching it return to stillness. She realized that her problem was not the people around her, but her own refusal to let the water settle. She learned that stillness is not the absence of people or the absence of noise, but the presence of a steady center. The master taught her that to be truly free, one must become like the deep part of the lake. While the surface may ripple from the wind or a falling stone, the depths remain cold, quiet, and untouched. She began to practice the art of the inner mirror. Whenever she felt the sting of a harsh word or the rush of a compliment, she would pause and breathe. She would visualize the ripples on the surface and wait for them to fade. She realized that a compliment is just a breeze and a criticism is just a stone. Neither has the power to change the water itself unless the water allows it. Slowly, her hand became steady once more. Her colors returned, but this time, they were deeper and more honest. She no longer painted to be seen. She painted because she saw. May returned to her valley, but she was no longer the woman who had left. People still spoke and the winds of expectation still blew, but she remained at peace. She understood that the most important view of her life was the one she had when the water was still. She lived by a new principle: do not let the world define your reflection. Hold your own light, keep your own silence, and the path will always be clear. True power is not in being admired by many, but in being undisturbed by any.